Lonely Monk Productions. Welcome to Too Old, Too New, the music discovery podcast that brings you something old, something new, something Nate, something Bruce. I'm Nate Runkle, host of the Yo, That's My Jawn podcast, and with me, as always, is my good friend Bruce Warren from WXPN. The premise of this show is simple. Each week we bring you two songs apiece. One new song that has been metaphorically spinning our turntable platters, and one old song that we believe still absolutely matters. How's it going, pal?
It's going great. Going great. How about yourself? You doing good?
I'm telling you what, the sun is out, the sky is blue, and Taylor owns all of her own music again.
That's a beautiful thing. Exactly. I'm happy for all the above, as they say.
Right.
Hey, did you didn't make it to the Roots picnic this weekend, did you?
I did not. I actually had passes, but I got stuck on another engagement, and I thought about going Saturday after the engagement was over, and I'm glad I didn't.
Good, you didn't, exactly. And did you, by any chance, get to Porch Fest, or were you even thinking about going to West Philly Porch Fest?
I really wanted to go to Porch Fest. There was the Porch on Pine had my pals Max Davey and Roberta Faceplant, and I really wanted to make it for that porch, and I didn't get down there. Did you get down at all?
I did for a short while.
How was it?
I got it. It was great. It was in between a little bit of rain that, the couple different periods of rain that we had on Saturday. But I got to hand it to those guys. It just keeps getting better and better every year, and so much more organized. And it's a thing, it has become like an important cultural thing to do in Philadelphia, in West Philadelphia, because it's absolutely fun, and, I can always tell when it's getting bigger and bigger. I don't think they have any sponsors this year. They may have, so sorry if anybody from Porch Fest is watching this or listening. But like the quality of the bands, like more and more sort of quote unquote bigger Philadelphia name bands are starting to play amidst the incredible amount of independent local artists that are on there. So my hat's off to the organizers of that. And walking around, I was there for about half an hour, walking around the neighborhood, the West Philadelphia community is so incredibly together. Like they just have their shit together. There's a feeling of good vibe, and people are friendly. Even when there isn't Porch Fest, people are friendly. So two big thumbs up to the West Philly Porch Fest folks for putting together another great year of porch music.
Yeah,
if you will.
It's such an awesome celebration of the scene, like, and like you said, like, it's so cool that, like, some larger names and some people who are just getting started, like, are kind of sharing the same kind of space, like, it's all of the best stuff from a festival, but on people's front porches, like, it's so approachable.
And sometimes they're roofs.
And sometimes, that's right. Yeah, exactly. It's so cool. The other big thing this weekend was WXPN's songwriting challenge prompt came out.
Thank you. I was counting on you to bring that up.
Well, of course, any chance to get to talk about myself. The prompt this year was belong, and there were how many total submissions did you guys get? Because it seems overwhelming to me.
276 people wrote an original song in a 24-hour period with the prompt of belong.
It's incredible. Absolutely incredible. I'm going to have to send you my list of faves. There's one that to me is a brand new Philly anthem. I don't want to put my thumb on the scale yet, but I'll tell you offline who it is. Like, it's really good.
Okay. I was going to say, is it the SEPTA song?
No, it's not the SEPTA song.
Okay. All right. Okay. Which is kind of cute.
Yeah.
Anyway, but yeah, it was really, it's exciting. We started 2 years ago, and, I actually stole the idea, but I modified a stolen idea. KCRW in LA used to do this audio race. I think that's what they called it. And I remember when they announced it, I was thinking to myself, man, how do we make this our thing? How does XPN do this? So I thought about it for 2 seconds. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna have people write a song in 24 hours under a theme. And basically I modeled it after that. And first one went off incredibly well last year. The response was great, and we decided to do it again. So yeah, now it's just the judges are judging, as they say.
That's great. That's great. You know, it's one, it's an awesome challenge to partake in. But even beyond that, as a music fan and a music lover, one of the things that I love about it, and it speaks to the diversity of the XPN crowd, is just the wide range of people who are sending songs in. You know, it's not all young people, it's not all old people, it's not all singer-songwriters, it's not all hip hop. Like, it's just it's a perfect like potpourri of just
totally
Philly music. It's so great, man. I dig
Totally
it.
great.
And I'm so happy you guys brought it back. Like, I definitely think this could be something that could grow exponentially, pun intended.
And Nate, your song is really good, by the way.
Oh, thanks.
So,
That's all I was fishing for.
yeah, and I was in. What's the name? What's the title of it again?
It is "You Belong in a Song."
You belong in a song. So if you're watching this, you can go to the WXBN website, the song challenge, and you can search "You Belong in a Song" or search Nate's name, and you will come up to that video. So there you go.
You know, the other thing that I really find exciting about this is like people's approach this year more so than last year, because last year was summertime. So like it was mostly, you know, like kind of summery kind of ideas and stuff like that. But the word belong kind of can pack so many different kind of approaches. And so like there's a lot of like there's some really good like, hey, like we belong to kind of a similar kind of idea. There's like we belong together. And then there's ones that are like, I don't belong, you know, like it's like like a wide swath of different versions of the word belong.
Yeah.
I dig it, man. It's cool.
To that point, Nate, when I announced the prompt, I played a whole hour of songs on the air to sort of showcasing that broad swath of how you can interpret the concept. And the very last song I played in the hour was, okay, I've been playing songs that are like very, you know, positive belonging, but not every song about belonging is positive. And I played Creep, and then I played I Belong to the Blank Generation by Richard Helen.
Hell yes.
So,
yes.
you know, just to kind of give people a different idea, you know, idea.
I do have to thank you and yell at you because you got fucking Pat Benatar's "We Belong" stuck in my head, and then as I was writing, I kept writing stuff, and then I'd be like, "No, shit, that's Benatar. I'm doing Benatar again."
You know, if it wasn't for Kristen Curtis, the host of our morning show, I probably would not have played that song because I did not immediately have it on my list. And when I said to her, "Hey, here's some of the songs," she was like, "Oh, we got to play 'We Belong' by Pat Benatar." I was like, there you go.
Which, by the way, I do an incredible acoustic cover of. Just
I'm sure you do.
Out there.
I'm sure
well,
you do.
Let's speaking of incredible songs,
right.
let's get into our songs. You want to go first?
Yeah, I guess so. So here's the concept this week: something old, something new. Both our songs are from the same artist. All right. So I'm going to go first. So thank whoever. We have new music from the incredibly talented singer-songwriter and good friend of ours, Kathleen Edwards. Just announced a new album today. It's coming in August the 22nd. It's called Billionaire. I have no idea why it's called Billionaire. And Kathleen released not one, but 2 new songs today. This is Kathleen's rock and roll album. I've been begging Kathleen. So Kathleen is a singer-songwriter. She works in Americana, right? And kind of in the rock world. But I said to her a few years ago, I was like, Kathleen, you need to make a fucking balls to the walls fucking rock and roll record. And I think she pondered that a little bit. Hopefully I was a bit inspiring when I said that to her. So she decided to bring on board as a producer of this record, the amazing Jason Isbell. So Jason produces this record, and this is her rock record. I'm just going to say that. So 2 songs came out today. One is sort of like the fucking guitar, Cortez the Killer, Say Goodbye, Tell No One. And this one, Save Your Soul, which is a little more in line with what I think most people expect Kathleen to put out. It's a super, super amazing song. It's called Save Your Soul.
You'd have come clean years ago, but the hustle gets you high. bags with gold. Line your pockets, who's gonna save your soul? Who's gonna save your soul?
That's Kathleen.
Hell yeah.
The guitars are touched up on this record. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah. The one of my favorite things about Kathleen is she is like an adopted Philadelphian. You know, like and thanks to WXPN, and like I for the longest time, and the funny thing about it is, for the longest time, I thought she was a local artist. I had no idea she was Canadian until I heard the line, "You're the great one. I'm Marty McSorley," which might be the most Canadian line ever written by a musician ever.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
But you know what I found out recently was, what was it, 2 years ago at the very first Sing Us Home, she was on the festival lineup, and she was part of the Haas Family Campfire Sing Along that he does with singer songwriters, and Craig Finn was there and her, and she's on Craig's new album, and I just kind of thought that they were like old friends or something like that, but it turns out they met at Sing Us Home. So like now Philly is like adopting Craig Finn into this as well. Like look, we're gonna take them all at some point.
Yeah, I hope so. And it's interesting that you notice that. So listen, Kathleen, I think is severely underrated
Definitely.
by the music world critics. I've been a huge fan since day one, and I think her lyrics are incredibly insightful. They're sharp. They can be brutally honest sometimes. And her voice is just incredibly lovely, and she's great live. Great live.
Oh my God.
Hopefully this record will get her songs out to new audiences. And it rocks a little bit more. So it's good. And you mentioned Craig Finn and Kathleen Edwards. Both of them are playing the Exponential Music Festival presented by Subaru in the fall. So
Heck yeah.
we're looking at
Kathleen's count at? Because at last I checked, and this is going back maybe a year or two, I believe the tie was between Dave Haas and Dawes. But I feel like Kathleen's is creeping
leading.
up.
I'm gonna do the math. I'll let you know next
Okay.
week.
Yeah.
All right.
Good.
Okay. So that's something new from Kathleen. Now something old. I want to go back to the 2008 album. I think it was her third album, Asking for Flowers. This song is one of her most beautiful songs. So let's do it. It's the title song, Asking for Flowers.
Every pill I took in vain, every meal for you I made, every plan I tried to make, and asking for flowers is like asking you to be nice. Don't tell me you're too tired. 10 years I've been working nights.
The aforementioned song that mentions Marty McSorley, former hockey player, right?
That's
and
right.
Kathleen is a huge hockey fan, of course, growing up in Canada. But that's if you're not familiar with Kathleen's music, highly recommended. Start with her first album, Failure. It's great. And I will also say the band that she put together on this new record is just absolutely stellar. Obviously, Jason Isbell plays. Gina Johnson, who also did some production on this record, engineered the record, plays piano and sings. Jen Gunderman plays keyboards. Shelby Lynn and Allison Moore featured on some songs. And Adam Butters, who I don't know if you know, plays bass. She is I guess they are a jazz bassist from Chicago. And I'm really curious to hear how Anna's name got into the mix to play on this record. So, and a whole bunch of other people, but it's a wonderful record, and I'm looking forward to it coming out in a month.
That's
so.
exciting. That's exciting. I got to give a shout out. So my Asking for Flowers, when that came out, I was DJing at the time at this event, a Cinco de Mayo party, right? And it was this big, huge outdoor event, hundreds of people, and dance party. So like a lot of like whatever was big in '08, I can't even remember, but like and then the old standbys, Michael Jackson, all that kind of stuff, right? And this woman comes up to me and she goes, "Hey, I got a request for you. Can you play any Kathleen Edwards?" And I was like, "Yep, coming up next." And she was like, "Okay." And I played Asking for Flowers in the middle of this big, huge like dance party. I just needle dropped to Asking for Flowers. And she comes back and she goes, you played it?" And I was like, "Yeah, I played it." I was like, "I fucking love Kathleen Edwards." And she's like, "That's amazing." We later became friends through my wife. She actually knew my wife before I knew my wife. And then like one day we were like talking and she was like, "Were you the DJ that played?" And now, so shout out to Sandy, huge Kathleen Edwards fan, for Asking for Flowers.
There you go. Hi, Sandy. Great.
And also XPN member.
Well, thank you for your membership.
So for my picks this week, I went with two from David Lowery. For those of you who don't know, David Lowery was the frontman of Camper Van Beethoven and then later Cracker. And he has a new album out called Fathers, Sons, and Brothers, okay? And he said that he's been asked numerous times to write an autobiography, but he just never felt like the kind of guy who would write an autobiography. So what he did instead was wrote an autobiographical album that traces the history of his life, which is incredible. It's 2 volumes. It's made up of 3 earlier releases, Shadow of the Bull, Leaving Key Member Clause, and Vending Machine, plus 4 unreleased songs and 4 re-release songs. But essentially, it tells the story of his life from childhood through his success in bands.
Wow.
And it's great. I just finished it today. It just came out of the collection came out on Friday. And it's absolutely fantastic. And I picked a song from it. And maybe you might be able to guess what my old song is going to be based off of this. But the new song that I picked today is a song he wrote called, I wrote a song called Take the Skinheads Bowling.
Well, I was stocking up the cooler, took a 40 and I went home and wrote a song. I wrote a song called Take the Skinheads Bowling. So won't you take the skinheads bowling, take them bowling. It's a song that don't mean anything. It's a song that put me on a different trajectory. Take the skinheads bowling, take them bowling.
The story of Camper Van Beethoven. It's like this album is absolutely insane. Like there's a song about drinking vodka, doing mushrooms, and getting in trouble and getting locked up at Disneyland. All kinds of crazy stuff. I've always been a fan of David Lowery. His lyricals are so kind of like sardonic and just and then like musically he just writes really good jangle pop, man. Like just really good songs. In Cracker, I think about a song like Teen Angst, which just screams.
Yeah, totally amazing.
I've seen him a few times live. The very first time was with Cracker, and the opening act was the Meat Puppets. It was an incredible show at the Tower Theater. And then I saw them. One of my favorite shows of all time that I've ever seen it was him and Johnny, the guitar player from Cracker, and it was at World Cafe, and they were just doing like an acoustic duo kind of thing, going through the hits of Cracker and Camper Van Beethoven. And it was one of those nights where like I saw you could see like the songs themselves, not masked by like, production or whatnot, but I saw what a genius songwriter he is. Like I said, like, he's somebody who, not just musically I respect, but also like he was one of the very first people I ever heard talking about how streaming was bad.
Yes, exactly.
And to the point where like early on, like people were like, "What the fuck are you talking about? This is great. People are listening to our music and all." And he's like, "We're not getting paid. What are you talking about?" And
he was at the front end of that conversation. for sure.
And then he put together a class action suit in 2017 against Spotify and got a settlement of over $40 million. Him and Melissa Ferrick.
Melissa Ferrick.
Yeah, for unpaid mechanical royalties. Like, the dude is at the forefront, and I don't know if you have read him on the socials or whatnot, but like, he's the guy who I want to talk to about AI. You know what I mean? Like, he's the guy who like has the forethought of all these different things that, so essentially what I'm saying is, David, if you would like to come on the Yo, That's My Jawn podcast and talk about streaming and AI and all things music, please do so. But what a dude, man. Like, I just...
Yeah. Smart fella.
He is. And so, the song that we just mentioned there, Take the Skinheads Bowling, is obviously my old pick of the week. So let's listen to a little Take the Skinheads Bowling by Camper Van Beethoven.
Got big lanes, got big lanes, got big lanes. Some people say that bowling alleys all look the same. Look the same, look the same. There's not a line that goes here that rhymes with anything. Anything, anything. Had a dream last night, but I forget what it was. What it was, what it was. Take the skinheads bowling, take them bowling. Take the skinheads bowling, take them bowling.
That alongside their cover of Pictures of Matchstick Man is probably the two biggest Camper Van Beethoven songs. And I just found out today, Take the Skinheads Bowling never released as a single.
Really?
Yeah, it blew up because I guess K-Rock picked it up and BBC Radio 2, and then it was also a staple on Dr. Demento, which is kind of how I think I came into it.
Well, Dr. Demento's got good taste.
He does. Man, what was a great song? Fish Heads. I love that song.
Fish Heads is a masterpiece. I mean, come on. Seriously. It's like, it's a genius song. I saw Camper Van when they first came out in Philly, but I think it was like 2014 or 15, they played World Cafe live in Philadelphia with Cracker. So they performed as Camper Van Beethoven, and then they played as Cracker. I'm pretty sure I was at that show. I'm pretty sure.
That's cool. Cracker's actually coming to town. The Eagle View, what's the Eagle View series that Rising Sun puts together?
I don't know that. I'm not familiar with that one.
Outdoor show. I think this month. I should have probably had that date.
You mentioned Cracker's songs like Teen Angst, right? Like those first two albums, I think 92, 93, Kerosene Hat and Cracker. I don't remember which one came out first. Come on, Teen Angst, Get Off This, You're a Trash Girl, Happy Birthday, Low, right?
Yeah. Just like Slayer after Slayer on that.
There were, to their credit, there were 4 or 5 amazing songs on both of those records that we played on radio, like here in Philly. So, can't say a lot about bands these days putting more than 2 or 3 great songs on a record. I'm sorry, I may take shit for that,
for sure.
But I don't give a shit, except for Kathleen Edwards, of course. No, there's more than that, but you get my point, right? It's like, and the band was super tight, and always completely rocked it up. So, anyway, good choices.
I do a little Teen Angst cover as well. I got a lot of covers in me.
Wait, I forgot one other song, Satisfy You. I can hear that.
Oh, God, yes.
That's why I don't sing, Nate, and you do. So.
Well, I'm still mad that I really thought you and Mike V were going to put a band together for the songwriting challenge, but I guess you were exempt.
No, we're not allowed to. I read the rules.
But no, definitely check out Father, Sons, and Brothers. It's a really interesting. The autobiography is cool.
I'm glad you brought it. I'm gonna pitch that to the World Cafe team. We got to get David on to talk about this record and, of course, his career.
Yeah, for sure.
Maybe we'll make that happen.
Hell yeah. All of these songs, of course, will always live on our Spotify playlist. You can follow us on the socials. Bruce is at Some Velvet Blog. I am at Yo, That's My Jawn. Look, the video. We're behind on the video. I know. I got things going on. It's going to be up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to edit this video and last week's video, and then the week before's video, and they're all going to go up. And we're gonna some are going to be called the missing links. unearthed gems of this
I know,
podcast.
I know that's my Jawn. Too old, too new binge weekend.
That's exactly right. Yeah, now you look content. That kind of reminded me. David Lowery is also doing a song by song breakdown of this autobiographical album on Substack. davidclowry.substack.com. So check that out. But you can hear Bruce every Saturday on WXPN from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. You can hear me every other week on whynotradio.net. I was just on this past Monday. I'm not on again until the 23rd. I know I say every other week. There's extra Mondays in June, so we're doing weird things. So June 23rd, I'll be back on there. Of course, Yo, That's My Jawn podcast will be back at some point. I this week am locking down 3 more guests. So we're and then here we go, guys. Fingers crossed. I'm trying to get Benson from SVU. Yeah, Olivia Benson, Mariska Hargitay is directing a film about her mother was Jane Mansfield. And she's directing a documentary that's coming out the end of this month on HBO about her mother. And so I'm trying to line that conversation up. Let's see what happens.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dude, that's pretty massive.
Right? I think we could have a really good conversation. I got some stuff there. I got some questions. But
all right. Okay.
But yeah. So look, I'm putting this energy out there. Let's manifest all of this.
All right. Love it.
All right. So like, rate, review, subscribe, do all the stuff. Share this with your friends and check us out. And we'll catch you next time. Bruce, thanks. It's always
fun. Peace.
All right. Too Old, Too New with Nate and Bruce is a Lonely Monk production, produced and hosted by Nate Runkle and Bruce Warren. Please be sure to rate, review, and subscribe to the show on your podcast provider of choice. If you have any music you think we should hear, or if you would just like to reach out to us, please feel free to email us at tooldtoonewmusicpod@gmail.com. And as always, thanks, and we will catch you next time.
Hey, with me, Bruce.